I invite you to close your eyes and imagine a group of people just like you and me, standing in an open field, each equipped with solar panels and facing the rising sun. As the sunlight pours down, they absorb its energy, storing it within themselves. Together, they channel this energy into shared power grids, fueling dynamic systems that lights up cities, powers innovation, and drives progress forward. Channeling this energy is key for every business. What truly sets businesses apart is their ability to harness the power of human connection, while incorporating authenticity into the corporate culture isn't just a strategy, it's a total game changer. And let's be honest, not every business achieves that. Every organization built on a clear vision. When employees understand where companies are headed towards to, they feel valued, heard, and appreciated, and they find meaning in their roles. Well, is it due to lack of communication, misalignment of goals, or the failure to cultivate a corporate culture that embodies the company's vision and mission? A lack of opportunity for participation of employees leads to disconnection. When employees are not given a voice and a seat at the table, they don't feel heard, seen, and valued, and invested in the success of the organization. Now, imagine having a workforce that not only represents your company, but actively engages and attracts top talent and customers. A dream come true? Well, corporate influencers are designed to do just that. We are living in the age of social media, where influencers hold immense power. They shape opinions, drive engagement, and influence people's behavior. Yet, all too often, corporations fail to integrate their own talents, their valuable talents, their own employees, mistakenly thinking that influence is only for external celebrities or social media personalities. Well, this is far away from the truth. Corporate influencers are value and brand ambassadors of companies, the true and authentic voice of organizations. And they communicate company topics very authentically to relevant audiences and influence their way of thinking. One way to achieve this is through their own personal social media accounts. They share company insights, they share the newest milestones that the company has been living, they share where they have been attending events, the progress that the company is making, new product developments, and so on. However, the most important thing is that they bring in their own personal values and their own personal touch while storytelling about the company's culture and values. But they also talk about their own area of expertise, the competencies, the skills, still showing vulnerability, how they have been struggling, what kind of challenges they're facing. They're also talking about behind the scenes, what is happening there within the company. And most importantly, they also talk about thought leadership topics, such as sustainability, diversity, innovation, but still putting the company values and mission in the forefront, not neglecting to be authentic and credible. Let me then ask you, how can organizations overlook the potential on their own internal workforce. You have a powerful opportunity to use social media as a platform to highlight your expertise and to share your competencies and know-how. Because I truly, truly believe that each of you has something valuable to give to the world out there. It's about building credibility that captures attention, that drives engagement, that make people follow you, that make people interested in what you're doing. And I always say the best thing is to have the so-called X factor when you're a corporate influencer. People look at you, listen to you, and think, oh, wow, I would like to be like him or her. Maybe it's very cool to work at that company. So ask yourself, isn't it more beneficial than just issuing an ordinary job description out there, instead making use of your own employees because they're trustworthy, they're credible? And most importantly, they are relatable, something that external influencers lack. And customers are more willing to listen to internal employees rather than to paid influencers. And furthermore, when employees are given the opportunity to share their expertise, their knowledge, and to show the world out there how much they enjoy working for that company and how much they enjoy doing what they do. As Afua mentioned, they don't only talk about their expertise, but also about topics that matter. We've been working with several clients, for example, universities, with clinics, with traditional industry companies. You want to fight against loneliness in society? Go for it. You're up to diversity. You believe that every one of us should have equal opportunities. Go for it. And that's the valuable opportunity for influencers. So why does, in fact, the concept of corporate influencers work? It's pretty simple. Because people listen and buy from people that they like, trust, and can relate to. And what if I told you that each of you here can be a corporate influencer? Would you be up for the challenge? Yes? I can't hear you. Yes, fantastic. So you all said yes. Can you tell me how to get started? Don't worry, I got you. That's the reason why I'm here today, because I have 3 jokers for you that you can leverage. Before I do so, I would like to share my story with you. To keep it short, I finally decided to found a marketing agency and decided to engage on social media on a regular basis, sharing my expertise, my knowledge, and also teaching organizations how to leverage the power of corporate influencers. Was I scared? Of course I was, right? In particular, being so open and vulnerable about my transition from the technology field into marketing. I had weird thinkings that my former colleagues would say, like, oh my God, Irene, you had the whole future in front of you, and now you're switching it because of marketing and personal branding and corporate influencer. You won't get far. I even made it part of my social media postings, trying to inspire and motivate others to overcome their limiting beliefs of being scared of what others might think. My lessons learned so far: do what you really love and are passionate about, and not to prove it to anybody else out there, or not even to yourself. Because your life isn't yours if you constantly care about what other people think. Do you agree with that? Thank you. Fantastic. So, to help you get started, I have 3 powerful statements you can leverage just as I did when I started my own corporate influencer journey. Invent yourself, inspire others, and impact the world. Invent yourself. It means defining who you are, what you stand for, and what you're aspiring to be. You can actively shape who you are by trying and exploring new interests, skills, and ways of thinking. It involves taking control of your own personal growth. And sometimes also meaning stepping out of your convenient and warm comfort zone, right? And jumping into the cold water. And reimagining your full potential. Inspire others. You can do so by creating many different content formats. How can you do that? You can talk about industry trends, tips, and you can talk about topics that matter and lie to your heart. You can give people advice, you can inform them, you can educate them. And many corporate influencers or aspiring corporate influencers approach me and say like, what am I supposed to talk about? Let's take an example. You are keen on leadership and you say like, oh, many people have already been talking about leadership. What if I tell you you don't need to be better than the others, only different? And what about combining leadership with another topic, for example, diversity or emotional intelligence, and viewed from a different angle? Because although much has already been said about or on leadership, nobody else out there has the same perspective as you have, has the same story that you have, has the same background that you have. And among 100 other leadership experts, they might probably choose exactly you because they can relate to you and because they have the X factor, right? So here, you can start a podcast. You can issue a newsletter. You can conduct weekly expert interviews, and so on. There's so many ways of you to bring your message across and convey your matter. Next we have, or finally, impact the world. So it's up to you to make a lasting and sustainable contribution to the world out there. It involves making a positive impact and change to global communities, to systems and environments. You can do so through leadership, through innovation, through any actions that relate to societal, environmental, and economic challenges. Now, let's go back to the 3 jokers. Remember them? I promised them to you since they will help you establish these 3 statements, namely, invent yourself, inspire others, and impact the world. So joker number 1 is to show personality. When you start your corporate influencer journey, it's all about expressing your traits or characteristics, emotions, and really also showing emotions in an authentic way that truly reflects yourself and what you're aspiring to be. And of course, it involves being genuine and open. Joker number 2 is a way to inspire others. Here again, it's all about you expressing what you want to convey. Many people approach me and say like, well, I would like to bring my message across. Do I need to create content for that? Guess what my answer is? Of course, if you are trying to influence, you are in the content creation business, but still you have many different formats and content types you can choose from. Last but not least, it's the 3rd joker I have for you, which means have a strong mission. It's about purpose. driven by a clear and focused goal that guides our actions and decisions. In my case, I wanted to make a societal impact and convey the vision that the future is young and old. Therefore, I founded a social impact initiative called Joint Generations, with the aim of fostering intergenerational collaboration and fighting age discrimination. So go ahead and start today, invent yourself, inspire others, and impact the world.